Okay, welcome back to another Warface Breakout YouTube video. My name is Rogue Potatoes, and today we're going to be covering all the different types of sensitivities and settings that you can go through in this game that you might need to find out. Retake. Take two. Today we're going to be covering all the settings in Warface Breakout. Everything from the settings to video settings. So we're gonna hop right into it, going from the controls, and then we'll go over some of this stuff is basic, but some people don't know what this means. It might be a little confusing, and at first it was a little confusing for me as well, because there are so many different options. So we're gonna run through each one and what they mean. First thing, invert look, up and down axis. You look down, movement looks up. Aiming, either hold to toggle. I personally use hold to aim because that's just how I've always played video games, with hold to aim, left trigger. Vibration, I play with it off because I just don't like the controller vibrating. So these are all personal preference things. Aim assist, I keep on. Aim assist is a big thing. I would recommend keeping that on. Clench protection, this is actually what I found interesting. It actually prevents accidental stick clicks while aiming. I haven't used it because I don't have a problem with that. I haven't had a problem with it, so I just shut it off. So I haven't had any problems since, so I'm okay. But if you guys have any tips about that, let me know in the comments. Now this is the sensitivity. This is where it all begins. This controls the overall sensitivity of everything in the game. So I have mine on 8, a lot higher than the standard. We're gonna run through each one of these. Same ADS sensitivity. I put this as yes, so that it's not affecting. It's the same when you're ADSing and hip firing. Now I'll show you why I kept it the same, because if you scroll down here, you have these 3 settings: the close range, mid range, and high range sensitivity settings. So I figured, why do I need to swap the ADS sensitivity overall if I could change it between different scopes? So this actually allows you to change the ADS sensitivity. Remember, when you're aiming down sight, your sensitivity per scope. So 1 to 2x's, you can change that sensitivity. 3x sensitivity, you can change that specifically, and then 4.5 all the way up to 5.5 ADS sensitivity. You control each one of these through this setting. So that's why I didn't change my same ADS setting, because I would rather leave it all as one thing until I need to change it. I might have to adjust the sniper one a little bit, but we'll see in the future. For now, this is fine for me, 100 on each. Now we go for dead zones. For those who don't know dead zones, dead zone is the part of the controller or your thumbstick that doesn't respond until you hit the dead zone. So for example, you have your thumbstick at straight up. The lower you have your number, the quicker it'll respond. But if you have the number too low and your controller is a little bit off, it might not be in perfect condition, your aim will start swaying left or right without you even moving your thumbstick. So sometimes you need to raise the dead zone. I have mine set at 4 just to prevent any potential stick drift that I might get. The outer dead zone is where if you put your thumbstick all the way to the furthest to the right or furthest to the left or up and down, is like if you hit the corner, that's where the dead zone is. But if you reduce it to perhaps 10, then after you hit a certain angle coming towards the end, you don't have to hit the end for the thumbstick to stop registering in the game, if that makes any sense. So it stops registering early the earlier you move the outer dead zone. I would not recommend moving this down because I want it to be as responsive as possible. Advanced control options. I decided to turn this on. I was like, you know what? Why not? I want to get my aim fine-tuned. So there's some settings here. They base it off of yaw and pitch. For those who don't know, yaw controls the left and right aiming, and then pitch controls the up or down. So we'll just run through each one of these. Yaw speed is just for left and right. So remember, you still have the sensitivity up here that controls it overall, but the yaw is just for left and right on top of that. So you can control what you can do just left and right, and then the pitch is usually up and down, and it's usually done a little less than the yaw. That's just some people's personal preference. A lot of Call of Duty players will do that. So I have my yaw at 13. You can change your ADS yaw speed. Remember, aiming at sight, just left to right. You can lower that. I have mine slightly lowered overall for that. And then this is called acceleration. When you hit the maximum, when you're ADSing, or so you have the ADS version and then the regular version, when you're aiming and you hit your thumbstick all the way to the right, this shows how much faster the view will go when you hit it. So you'll move, you hit the corner of the thumbstick on the edge, and your aim will start spinning. This will control how much it starts spinning after you hit the side. And the same thing for when you're ADSing on this one. I have mine high because the reason why is because if I'm hitting the edge of where the thumbstick can go, it means I need to be there for a reason. So I know that I need it to be fast. So I put it there for a reason. Now it's the same thing for pitch. It's all the same settings here. Pitch, ADS pitch speed, pitch acceleration, and an ADS pitch acceleration. So it's all the same things, but this is referring to vertically. So I put mine a lot lower for this because in most cases, you don't really need to aim up or down as much as you do left to right. Now these are the final settings for the sensitivity, is the acceleration time. When the stick input is at maximum, how long it takes the acceleration to reach its full strength. So like I was saying, remember how I said, let me just show you for example, the controller. I move the thumbstick all the way to the left, right? Once it hits or this is actually the right side. Once I hit the right side and it starts to move faster, this controls how fast it gets to that full speed of 20, as you can see up here. Up here I have my yaw acceleration up to 20. That's the speed that it goes up to when I hit it all the way to the side. So this controls how fast it goes from my 13 all the way up to that 20. I keep mine on 1 because, like I said, I want it to be as responsive as possible. This might not be the same case for you, and that's okay. But that's my personal setting, and the same thing for the ADS acceleration time. So those are the two things on how long it takes to get to that speed. And then you have acceleration delay. On top of the acceleration time, how long it takes for you, once you hit the corner, and before it starts speeding up, before it starts speeding up, my bad, how long of a delay there is. Again, I keep this very low because once I hit the side, I know that I have to spin. So if you want a delay, just in case if you have a tendency to push it to the side too much, then maybe you want to turn this up. But I would recommend keeping this low if you want to be as responsive as possible. So they have the same setting here for ADS acceleration delay as well. So remember, ADS acceleration time is how long it takes to reach that full speed of 20 that I have it set to, and the delay is a delay that you set before the speed up actually begins. Next thing is button layout. It's the exact same thing. You can't really change anything. Left trigger, right trigger, they just show you here. Volume, I have mine set to 100. I had my music off just for copyright purposes. I love the music and the soundtrack of this game. I must say they did a great job. The video here, I actually can't change any of it because I'm on an OG Xbox One. So I believe if you're on Xbox One S and Xbox One X, you can control these. They say they recommend to shut them off so that you get better game performance. If you're on one of these consoles, let me know in the comments if those actually affect your game, because I can't change any of it. As you can see here, it's all grayed out. The last one is social. I keep my voice chat on, even though nobody's really chatting. It is useful to have, a teammate at times to be able to talk to, and then you just have the help here. Well, I hope I was able to help you out with any sensitivity questions and issues you may have had. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below. I'll try to answer as many as possible and in the best way as possible. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to subscribe to the channel, give a like to this video. I'm putting out a lot more guides for this game, so if you guys enjoyed, thanks. Feel free to subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.